welcome back with me and the podcast where we talk about is the ideas of shaping the world around us. I'm Angel, and today we're talking about something all of us deal with every single day, whether we notice or not. There is how AI is changing the way we communicate. So let's go around the table quickly. Let's start with Laras. Want to start?
Okay, sure. Hi everyone, I'm Laras. I'm interested in this topic because I think it touches on something bigger than technology. It's really about trust between people.
Hi, I'm Tasha. I'll be honest, I'm the skeptic of the group today. So expect me to play a bit of devil advocate.
Hi, I'm Aurea. I use AI tools constantly for my assignment. So this topic is close to home for me.
Hi, and I'm Patrick, the only man in this group today. So is Mila. My focus is more on journalism and public relations. So I'll be looking at this whole topic from the angle.
Perfect lineup. So let's get straight into it. My first question for all of you guys is AI making human communication better, or is it actually making us worse at talking to each other?
I'll start. Personally, I think it's making communication faster and more effective, but not necessarily better. For example, now companies use AI chatbot to answer customer question instantly, 24 hours a day. That's a real benefit. I agree with the efficiency part, but I want to add something. There's actually a concept said anthropocentric bias. The idea that people are naturally less willing to accept AI doing tasks that feel uniquely human, even when the AI does them well. So, even if a chatbot gives you the perfect answer, you may still trust it less simply because you know it's not a person.
Wait, can you clarify that? Are you saying we distrust AI even when it's technically correct?
Exactly. Imagine an AI reads a poem and a human reads a similar one. Research has shown people rate the human written one as more creative and more moving, just because they know a person made it. That's anthropocentric bias in action.
That's such an interesting point, but let's bring this back to real world communication though. Where do we actually see this play out, guys?
I looked into this before we record, and the data is honestly pretty striking.
Yes.
A 2026 report by Answer Connect found that around 85% of consumers still say they rather talk a real person than AI system when they contact a business. And in fields like healthcare and law, that number climbs to almost 90%.
Wow.
I see where you're coming from, but I'd push back a little. Isn't that more about trust in high stakes situation? For something simple, like checking a delivery status, I generally don't care if I'm talking to a bot.
That's fair actually. The same report says people are fine with AI for simple, low rise text. It's really the emotional, complicated, or high stakes conversation where people still want a human on the other end.
So basically, in a nutshell, AI is for speed and human for trust. Is that a fair way to sum it up?
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so let's go a bit deeper. Let us mention earlier about trust. So, why do you think trust is still so tied to human?
I think it comes down to empathy. AI can process information, but it doesn't actually feel anything. A study published in Scientific Reports in 2026 interviewed people in Pakistan and China about why they trust or don't trust chatbot. What they found was that two things matter most: how human-like and emotionally warm the interaction felt, and how reliable and accurate it was. Interestingly, the emotional part mattered just as much as the accuracy part, sometimes even more.
Okay, that actually remind me of something that happened to me last night. I called my internet provider because my connection kept dropping, and I got stuck with a chatbot for almost 20 minutes. It kept repeating the same generic troubleshooting step that didn't work, and I get more and more frustrated. The moment I finally got transferred to a human agent, she just said, "I understand how annoying this must be. Let me fix for you right now." And somehow that one sentence made me feel calmer even before the problem was actually solved.
So, what you're saying is, it was really about the solution itself, or it was about feeling hurt? Kind of like how a doctor says, "I understand this is scary." It can calm a patient down even before any treatment happens.
Exactly, that's a perfect example.
I think this is exactly why, as a future communication professional, we shouldn't be afraid of AI, but we absolutely need to be a double down of human skill that it can be replaced, such as empathy, negotiation, and emotional intelligence.
But I don't fully agree that human skills matter more too. I think AI skills themselves are becoming incredibly valuable too. PwC released a report just this June, the 2026 Global AI Jobs Barometer, and it found that jobs requiring AI expertise have grown almost 8 times faster than the overall job market. So I'd say it's not human skill instead of AI skill. It's both together. Actually, that line up with IRI too. The same reports found that new tasks and two AI-related jobs are about 2.5 times more likely to require empathy, judgment, and creativity. So maybe you two around really disagree. It sounds like the rule is asking for both skill sets at once.
That's a great bridge. Patrick, you've been quiet so far, and I know this overlaps directly with your area, so I want to ask, does this trust gap show up in journalism and PR too?
It does, actually, and in a way that almost paradoxical. There is research from an organization called Trusting News, reported in early
26.
2026 that surveyed news readers about AI. 94% said they want newsrooms to disclose when AI was used in a story. But when newsroom actually edit the closure, a Spirit study found that 42% of readers said their trust in that specific story went down afterward, even though disclosure was exactly what they asked for.
Wait. So people want transparency, but the transparency itself can hurt trust.
Right. It's a bit like a restaurant menu. You want to know if a dish contains MSG, So you want that information available. But the moment you actually see contains MSG printed on the menu, some customers hesitate to order it anyway, even if it is perfectly safe.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
So far, as a future PR and journalist professionals, the lessons isn't done disclosed. It is disclosed carefully. That researchers found that
Disclosure.
Fogu disclosure, just a generic AI, was used level hard trust the most. But specific disclosure, one that explain what the AI actually did and confirm that a human review it, readers that trust lost significantly.
Okay, that's such an important nuance. So it's not about hiding AI use, but it's about explaining it well.
Exactly. And I think that's a skill we need to start practicing in our writing classes right now, learning how to write and honest. Specific AI disclosure, not just a vague legal disclaimer nobody actually reads.
Okay, that ties in really nicely with the empathy point too. A good disclosure is basically an act of empathy toward the reader. That actually connects to a bigger idea I want to bring in. It's called centered communication, based on something called center chess. Back in 1997, IBM's Deep Blue beat world chess champions Gary Kasparov. Instead of giving up on the game, Kasparov later paired human chess players with AI. And that human plus AI combination ended up beating both solo human and solo AI. The idea is that the best communicators of the future won't be purely human or purely AI. There will be a hybrid of both.
Oh, so you're saying the goal isn't humans versus AI, but humans working with AI as a team.
Exactly. That's the whole point of the centered idea. Oh, I really like that framing because it takes the fear out of the conversation. Instead of asking, will AI replace me? We should be asking, how do I use AI to become better at what I already do?
Okay, so if we apply to our own field, such like communication, PR, journalism, what would center communication actually look like day to day?
I think it means using AI to draft a press release quickly, but having a human go back through it to add nuance, cultural context, and emotional tone. Things AI still struggle with.
Or using AI to analyze huge amounts of public sentiment data after a crisis, but having a human decide how to actually respond to the public, because that requires judgments, not just data.
And honestly, that connects right back to what we just talk about using AI to draft something ugly. Then having a human attached and honest, specific disclosure to it before it ever reaches research and audience.
And I think students like us need to start practicing this now, not later. If we wait until after graduation to learn how to collaborate with AI tools, responsibly, we all already be behind people who start practicing today.
Okay, so that's a strong point from Aurel, but let's not get too far ahead for ourselves into career advice just yet. So I want to circle back to something Tasha said earlier about skepticism. Tasha, after this whole conversation, has your view on AI changed at all?
Honestly, a little, yes. I still think we need to be careful, especially about transparency, which Patrick explained really well. One stat that stuck with me is that over 80% of consumers in a recent Avaya survey said companies should always clearly disclose when they're interacting with AI. I think that honestly, peace is not negotiable.
I completely agree with that. Transparency should be the baseline and not a bonus. Alright, so we're almost out of the time, so let me try to summarize where we land today. First, AI is generally making communication better and faster, but it hasn't replaced our need for human trust, especially in emotional or high stage situation. Second, the trust gaps comes from real patterns like anthropocentric bias plus a basic human need to feel understood and not just helped. Third, in journalism and PR specifically, transparency about AI use matters enormously, but how you disclose it matters just as much as whether you disclose it. And finally, the future doesn't really look like human versus AI. It looks more like human plus AI through what we call center communication. Does that capture it well, everyone?
Yes, I think that's a fair summary.
Agree, that's covered.
Some here, that's exactly where we ended up.
Could have said it better myself.
So my closing thought for anyone listening, especially fellow communication student, don't see AI as a threat to your future career. See it as a tool that raises the bar. The people who combine strong human skill with comfort using AI and the honesty to disclose it properly are the ones who are going to thrive in the next chapter. Yay! I'm gonna say thank you so much for Laras, Tasha, Aurel, and Patrick for such a thoughtful conversation today.
Yes, and I will just say thanks for having us.
Okay, thanks, Angel.
Fun being the only guy in the room, honestly.
This was a great discussion.
And thank you so much for all of you guys also for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. So goodbye.
Bye.